So I know this is really gonna piss somebody off, and I want to say a disclaimer that I don't think that it is a joke for anyone to have suicidal ideations, or think it's funny that people have family members and friends who have lost their lives or who have taken their lives due to suicide. With that being said, these are my own thoughts. These are my own opinions on my situation. Just me. Okay? Just me. So I personally don't see death as like necessarily like a bad thing. I see it as a transitioning. Though I have grieved people who have moved on, and though I know what it's like to grieve someone who is no longer here because you no longer have access to them, I completely understand the process of death. With that being said, right, for those who don't know, I attempted suicide back in 2015. I was going through a bunch of health problems, and I just felt like I could not fucking take it anymore. I was pretty much gonna be homeless, a bunch of other kind of different things, and I was just like, what the fuck am I here for? Long story less long, I attempted, it didn't go as planned, clearly, because I'm here. And yeah, here we are. I've had suicidal ideations since I was a very young kid, for those who don't know. And as an adult, I've had passive suicidal ideations for a variety of different things over the year. None of these things have to do with my trauma. None of these things have to do with me going no contact from family members. And none of these things have to do with my past. Now, with that fucking being said, there are things that I go through in my personal life that make me not want to be here anymore. And the primary reason for that is just living within a capitalist society, and it being hard to exist just comfortably within my 1-bedroom apartment and be able to take care of my bills. For those who have been out on their own, who have their own place, and who know and they know what it's like to be an adult out here paying bills, it is very fucking hard. Now, before, I could have gotten, if I would have left the job that I didn't feel like was like in alignment with me, like a couple of years ago, I'm gonna say 6-7 years ago, I could have quit a job. I could have filled out 10 applications on Indeed. 5 would have responded to me. I would have had 2 offers by the next week. It's a different time now. So being that the cost of living is pretty much staying, the cost of living is going up, but the wages are staying the same. And now we have an influx or, an oversaturated market with people who are either being laid off or what have you, now competing for the same jobs that you're also, used to going after. It's a different kind of time now. With all of that being said, a lot of this has caused me to have suicidal ideations, because when you can't take care of yourself, when you have bills piling up, when all of these different kind of things are coming at you, you don't want to be here anymore. You don't. Like I said, I've dealt with my trauma. I've dealt with my past. I've forgiven and forgave and did all of the things and did my shadow work, had the spiritual awakening and all of the fucking things. However, what I do know is that we're living within a simulation. And I feel like in my head, bitch, if I want to opt out, I should be able to fucking do so. So I don't want anybody, if ever anything was to happen to me, I don't want anybody to think like, oh my God, she could have been going through a lot. Yeah, she's been going through a lot financially, and she understands that she doesn't want to be faced with homelessness again, because she can't live that life. And I'm saying all of that to say this, right? My creator knows what I can withstand. I've had a lot of close calls where I've had to go to court for pending evictions. I've never been evicted before, but I've had to go to court for pending eviction cases. And thank goodness I've had the opportunity to have a job and have these different kind of, resources that would help me, pay down my arrears and me get back on my feet and so on and so forth, and, go on about my merry motherfucking way. However, it has not been an easy process as of late. And like I said, it's not me necessarily being sad. It's me being fed the fuck up. And I think people need to understand, like, people who want to opt out of the system, want to opt out of the simulation, this game, whatever the fuck you want to call it, we all don't share like linear feelings of why we want to do the things that we do. Like, I just don't want to fucking be here no more. And I know that I am not built for fucking homelessness. I'm not built for it. I can be built for a lot of things. I can be built to miss a couple of meals. I can be built for missing a couple of bills and having to, bust my ass to pay them off on all of. I'm not built for homelessness. And I won't be in a position where I'm going to be homeless. I'm telling you now. I'm telling y'all now what I would rather do than go back to a situation of being homeless, knowing that I bust my motherfucking ass to get in my fucking apartment and damn near spent $3,500 to get in this fucking place, and had to pack up all of my shit and move completely by myself. This ain't about me not having nobody, not having no community. This ain't about this. This ain't about that. This is about the fact that this is a broken fucking system, and you have adults like myself who have the expertise, who have all of the things, right? Who are super qualified, who are getting hit left and right with notices saying, oh, we decided to go with other candidates and da-da-da-da-da. That does a lot to a person's like mental health. Knowing that I have well over 10 years in healthcare and they're telling me that I'm not fucking qualified, and being hit with these notices over and over and over and over and over again. And while I'm unemployed and I'm not receiving unemployment, these bills keep adding and adding and adding up. And I have to reach out to different people who have the nastiest of fucking attitudes, by the way. It does a lot to you. So if I would rather opt out than be in a system, then that's what the fuck I'm going to do. However, what I believe is that my creator understands what I'm built for, right? And like I want to also say this, like, I have delusional faith, and I think it's a good thing that I have delusional faith, because every single time I thought that I was going to be down in a dump, so I thought I wasn't going to be able to pick myself up by my own bootstraps and all of these other kind of different things, a miracle comes in at the right fucking moment every single time. And I truly believe this situation is no different. However, I'm a human being with feelings. And sometimes I'm feeling like, well, damn, maybe this is the one time where it don't. And that's completely okay to feel. It's completely okay. And not to doubt your creator, but it's completely okay to feel like, damn, maybe I didn't get blessed this time. Maybe I didn't luck up, or maybe I'm not going to be able to wiggle my way out of this situation. So with that being said, that weighs heavy on me sometimes. And being that that's the fact, yeah, it'll have me thinking like I could just easily take myself out of here and we could just be done with this shit. I really do. And I'm saying this, right? I've looked at a variety of different testimonies with people who have had like near-death experiences where they have left and then came back, and they all, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's like if they believe just a little bit more or held on a little bit more, they would have seen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really got forces behind you, like trying to protect you and shit like that. And I always say, like, faith without works is dead, right? So I do everything on the back end to make sure that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I keep my phone on, I keep my lights on. I just literally talked to my landlord the other day, who usually I have, issues with, or whatever the case may be. But he said that he received my email. He's seen all of the things or whatever. And, essentially they were going to try to avoid court. But if I don't come up with this money in a couple of days or whatever, it'll just be something that they have to go, you know what I'm saying? It's just a due process. It just is what it is. And I said, you know what? I appreciate you for, reaching out to them and trying to work with me or whatever. But I understand, like, if I have to go, it's cool. We'll just figure it out once we get there type shit. Again, with all of that being said, I know that, or at least I have a great feeling that my current situation is going to work itself out, right? It might end up being like really raggedy, but it is going to work itself out. However, with me having to bust my ass to get into this place, Do I feel like in my heart of hearts, like I'm going to have to move? No, I don't feel like that. But in the case that in the case that they say, look, like, yo, you gotta go. Where the fuck I'm going to? Where I'm going? I'm surely not ending up on the streets. I got a whole baby that I take care of. We not ending up on the streets. We not ending up on the streets. So I say all of that to say, I think my creator knows that I'm dead ass serious when I say, like, if I get a chance to attempt and it works, yeah. If I get a chance to attempt and it works, it just means that it was too much. It just means that shit got too real, and it means that there was no way for me to wiggle my way out of this situation. And the inevitable situation is that I would end up out on the street. I can't have that. I've been in several situations where it has been some very close calls, and I've always managed to work my way out of them. If anything should happen again, bro, I did everything. I just want everybody to know I did everything I could. I did everything that I could on my end. I did everything that I could. And source know that. I did everything. I made every phone call. I did everything that I could in order to keep myself here, to keep myself safe, to keep myself within this apartment, and to take care of my baby. I did everything on my end. This ain't got shit to do with nothing else other than this being a broken system and people having to pay to fucking exist, which I think is completely bogus. And honestly, if I could ethically take myself out of this game, I would. But in the meantime, I'm trying my best to keep my head above water. And like I said, I think people think that I talk about suicide so passively. They'd be like, oh, she's not going to do that. I attempted suicide again back in 2015. I wasn't playing then. And I'm not playing now. If ever it gets too much for me, and listen, it's done gotten to, listen, it has gotten kind of crazy. It has gotten kind of fucking crazy. But I tell you, I'll fucking take myself up out of here before I end up homeless again. And I think my creator know that, and I'm dead the fuck serious. I think my creator know that and has been doing everything in its power to protect me while I'm here, so that won't be an issue. So that won't be an issue. It's the only thing that I request. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for me to be comfortable and be protected within my own space and being able to, work at a job, accumulate a livable wage, and to take care of my fucking baby. That's all I'm asking for. And if I can't have that, it ain't no reason for me to be here. It ain't no reason for me to be here. Because that's all I want to do. If I can't live a simple life, then I don't need to be living. And again, I know that's going to sound insensitive, and I know a lot of people ain't going to take me serious. I'm dead the fuck serious. If I did it once, I could do it again. I'm not playing. I get on here and I'm a functional person, right? You know what I'm saying? I have, plenty of wherewithal. I know how to articulate myself, intelligently and all of the different kind of things. And people think like, no, there's no, and listen, I don't think anybody like me should even be classified as like, quote unquote, crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just fed the fuck up. And my way of being fed the fuck up is doing something about it. While a lot of people want to be here and suffering, I don't want to suffer. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in living a life that's suffering. Will I bust my ass so I don't have to suffer? Absolutely. But if I feel like I'm exercising all of my resources and all of the things that I need to do and it's not working out for me, I guarantee you, bro. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here to deal with the suffrage. right? It's one thing to be struggling in your own place. It's another thing to be struggling out on the streets. I'm not gonna do it. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. I promise y'all I won't. I fucking won't. I'm not crazy. I'm not going through any mental health issues. I am just a person who is fed the fuck up with this raggedy ass, bum ass system. I'm tired. There's not enough resources, and especially being a single adult with no kids. Oh, there's not nearly enough resources. There's not nearly enough. And trust me, I've looked into all of them. I've done all of the Google searches. I've done all of the things. Sometimes the best thing for you to do within this system is to pop out a fucking baby so that you can get some fucking benefits. And that's crazy. I gotta be here struggling with another human being that I created in order to get assistance? Come the fuck on. Like, be fucking for real. There's not many resources out here for single adults who are going through a tough time. It's not. And listen, I'm very grateful for the assistance that I have received. I'm very grateful. I'm very, very, very grateful for the assistance that I have received. However, I'm going to say this again. Source, you know what your baby can take and you know what your baby can't take. I will take my motherfucking self the fuck up out of here before I deal with a life of struggle. Struggling inside your own home and struggling out on the streets is a completely different story. I'm only built for one. I'm only built for one. This is all I'm saying. And this is why I'm saying, if it ever got to that fucking point, I want people to know I'm not mad at anybody. Again, I done made peace with my past. I done did my shadow work. And I had a spiritual awakening, ego death, all of the things. All of the fucking things. But that has nothing to do with this human experience and living within a capitalist society where it damn near makes it nearly impossible for you to exist. Nearly. And if I can't find a way to exist here comfortably, I'm not talking about going on trips. I'm not talking about buying miscellaneous shit like shoes and clothes and all. I'm literally just talking about being able to clock into a job for 8 hours a day, pay my fucking bills, and take care of my baby. That is it. And if I can't do that, then I'm not going to be around much longer. I'm not. I'm going to personally decide to take myself out of this fucking game because it's not meant for me to exist in. And it was my choice to unplug. I don't want anybody, even though I know I can't control anybody else's emotions, I wouldn't want anybody to be sad about what I did and think like, oh, she was crazy. She had all of these mental health issues, baby. I guarantee you I can help you figure out some of your mental health issues. This ain't that. But what I refuse to do is be on a fucking street. That's what I refuse to do. And trust me, again, made all of the calls, did all of the motherfucking things in order to prevent these goddamn things from happening. I'm just trying to let y'all know where I'm coming from. Because again, I think people see suicide as something that is linear. And I don't think people see suicide from this kind of lens where somebody is absolutely rational, where somebody isn't depressed or sad for any other particular reason than being within a system that is broken, that doesn't allow them to function as an adult and take care of themselves within it. That's the issue. That's it. I love my loved ones, even the ones I don't fuck with, even the ones I don't talk to. Right? I love my supporters who have came, rock with me, heard my story, did all of the things. I fuck with y'all the heaviest. I love the fuck out of y'all. But I love me so much, I would rather opt out of a system that I know is not built for me than sit here and fucking suffer like somebody who didn't try their fucking best. I can only do but so much. And while I'm here, I'm going to constantly, like I said, while I'm here, I'm going to constantly be putting my foot to the pavement, and I'm constantly going to be making those calls, and I'm constantly going to be filling out these applications, and I'm constantly going to make sure that I do everything within my power. And if it ever comes down to it, just know I did my absolute fucking best. I did my best. I did my best. I did my absolute best. So I can understand why people don't want to be here anymore, especially people who are in a situation similar to mine. Sometimes it ain't about all of that other shit people make it be about. Sometimes you just are within a system that is so fucked up, they make it hard for you to fucking live. Okay? All of this shit is energy harvesting. Good, bad, all of it is energy harvesting. Think about it. Think about how much time you got. You don't got a full 24 hours in your day. At best you have 12, maybe 11. A lot of the times you spend commuting from and to your position. If you don't work from fucking home, you're spending 8 hours of the fucking day at work. And then when you get home, you maybe have 3 or 4 or some shit. You maybe have, maybe 3-4 hours to yourself. And then the weekends where you have to catch up on life. And then that's gone in a blink of a fucking eye. I know I'm not crazy. I want somebody to listen to this thoroughly so they understand where I'm coming from. I'm not crazy. I just refuse to be within a bogus ass fuck that I know is bogus. Can I live within a bogus ass system if I'm allowed to take care of myself and do all of the things that I need to do? Absolutely. But if I have to live within this bogus ass motherfucking system that I know ain't built or set up for me and have to struggle, I'm taking myself the fuck out. Fuck y'all. And not y'all personally, but fuck the powers that be. Respectfully. Disrespectfully, actually. I'm not gonna deal with it. So people can think how they want to think, but understand I think if there were a lot more people who weren't afraid to get on their platform to tell their side of what suicide feels like from somebody from, my point of view, I think it would be like, yeah, that woman ain't crazy. She ain't, she ain't throw it off or nothing like that. She just speaking her truth. And that's literally all I'm doing. I'm just speaking my truth. But I understand with speaking truth, a lot of people can get uncomfortable. A lot of people may have their own speculations, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? You can have your own perceptions about me, whatever. You would have those whether I was talking about this or not, right? But everybody who decides to take themselves up the fuck up out of here ain't do it because they ain't have no family. Ain't do it because they was alone. You know what I'm saying? Ain't do it for all of these other traditional reasons as to like why people feel like, you know what, I don't want to be here no more. Yeah, I'm just fed the fuck up. I cannot stress that enough. I am just fed the fuck up. That's it. I think if a lot more people came out and said what it was, a lot of people would be more understanding. They'd be like, you know what, it's fucked up that they not here no more, but we completely understand why they did what they did. And my full intention is never to hurt anybody, never to have anybody be extremely like worried about me or any of those things. Listen, as long as I got breath in my body, I'm gonna do all that I can in order to keep pushing through. But baby, if it's lights out, it's lights out. If it's lights out, it's lights out. You know?